MEKANZM.
Hello guys, I hope you're doing great. Welcome to my next tutorial, and like always, let's get to it straight away. First, we have our kick that sounds like this. So as you can hear, it's really solid and crunchy sample with the bit of an end and a rumble on its own. You can see it's labeled kick 1 and kick 2, but it's exactly the same sample, only on every second one this fade out is a little bit shorter because we need less space for our bass. As for the processing, there is EQ8 to get rid of everything under 32 Hz, to cut some math around 200 Hz, then utility to make it mono and control the volume. There is we really don't need any more effects on the kick at this point. This sample was heavily processed before, so it's fine like this. Then there is the second element of our low end, our bassline that sounds like this. So very short, almost percussive sounds. There are only 3 notes that make it, A, G and F sharp. For the sound I used wavetable and this patch called body bass. As for the processing, there is EQ8 to restrict the range of this bassline. So we keep only the lowest frequencies, and then there is utility to make it mono and control the volume. Together with our kick, it sounds like this. So it creates this really simple but solid groove, which is the foundation for the rest of our track. And the kick and the bass are grouped together. On the group there is again EQ8 to get rid of the unwanted frequencies, utility to make sure it's mono, glue compressor to glue it together and make it sound more coherent. And at the end there is K-clip 0 to shave off some peaks and also give it a little bit of saturation in the process. And let's listen to it again. Next we have 3 layers of hi-hats. The first one sounds like this. So it's our main offbeat hi-hat. I use this Apollo kit for this. Is the Ableton's stock drum rack, and I used only this hi-hat old tool from this kit. Nice sounding metallic hi-hat. This rack has delay built in, so I add a little bit of this to make it more interesting. Okay, the second one is this again is an Ableton stock sample, a bit more woody sounding hi-hat that plays 16 notes. And the last one is this open hi-hat that plays like on the very top of the audio frequencies. And together they sound like this. As for the processing, it's almost the same on every channel. EQ8 to get rid of the low frequencies, utility to control the volume. It's the same of the second one, and yeah, first one is basically the same. They are grouped together. Again, EQ8 and the glue compressor at the end to glue those three layers together. And together with our low end, it sounds like this. There is one more percussive element, it's this clap that sounds like this. It appears only in two parts of the arrangement for the moment. It's an Ableton stock sample. As for the processing, there is only EQ8 utility. And it goes to the return tracks with the reverb and distortion. So it's really basic sound. Together with the low end and the hi-hats, it sounds like this. There is one more important thing that I always forget to mention: return tracks. There are two of them. Reverb, so it's the classic room reverb. There are certain channels, certain parts of this track that goes to the reverb that creates the sense of space in the track. But there's also a second one, which is distortion, with the pedal and the fast settings. And there are also some elements like hi-hat, then more melodic elements. It creates this additional layer of crunchiness on top of everything. It's quite subtle, but I think it gives it a bit more of a character. Next we have this chord or stab that sounds like this. It's very simple. It's the basic triad, consists of B, D and F sharp. And it plays like this throughout the whole track. To make it, I used Surge XT and this patch called Messy that you can find in the polyrhythms category. It's quite filtered down, so it's just really like only a hint of the sound in the context of the whole track. And let's listen to it with the low end and maybe hi-hats. So it's very simple. I forgot to mention we are in the key of E minor, and yeah, that's our first sort of melodic element. Next we have probably the most interesting part of this track, those crazy arps that sounds like this. And this was inspired by the track called One More by Alarico. It has those really nice arps gliding over the beat, over the rest of the track, and it's immediately catch my attention, and I decided that I try to achieve the similar sound, and that's what I came up with. For the sound itself, I use Search XT and this patch called Delay Dancer that you can find in a plugs category. There are a few effects to this. There is this Refract by Arturia that splits the signal into few voices and then feed it into distortion, and Valhalla Supermassive to make it really big and spacious. Sounds quite different without them. But you can see how much more interesting it is with the effects. Then there is EQ8 utility as always, and auto filter that it used in the arrangement to introduce the sound and then to alter it a bit throughout the arrangement. The interesting part is how I created this pattern. I used this device that I bought recently that's called Harmony Bloom, and I'm quite fascinated by it. I've never used a sequencer like this before. I've seen a term a spiral sequencer, although I don't know if it's correct. But it fits. It doesn't have a sound on its own. You have to feed it into another instrument. In this case, Surge, but it works like this. So that's how I created our pattern, but you can there are a lot more shapes you can choose from. You can lock your scale. That's what I did. I lock it to our scale, which is E minor. And if you, I'll just show you some more shapes that you can get. You can change from what scales the notes are taken, and here, for example, and there are a lot of things you can change. You can add on or take out those lines. As you can see, the notes play when they get through them. You can change the number of notes. You can offset the shape. So there are all crazy kind of things you can make with this sequencer. And as you can see, you can randomize almost all of the parameters. not always great on the first try, but if you tweak it and when you really give it some time, you can come up with all sort of crazy patterns and melodies. Especially if you work on the more melodic types of music, this tool is really great for kickstarting new ideas. Let me show you. Oh, one more important thing. You just have to feed it with some notes. And you can also set if it's a trigger every time the notes play on, or it just goes continuously. Let me try one more. So as you can see, it's a really great device. I recommend it. I'm not connected in any way to the maker of this plugin. I just really enjoy to use it, and that's how I create those ARP in this track, which I think is our last element. Ah no, there is one more. There is this vocal. Let me briefly show you. ARP. You know what I need. You know what I need. So it's just this vocal snippet. There are a few effects. There is again refract, but I just wanted to split the voice into a few other voices, and there is spectral resonator, and after this there is Valhalla. I was really just experimenting with different effects, trying to get some nice results. Without any effects, it sounds like this. You know what I need. So yeah, nice vocal, but I just wanted to make it really interesting. You know what I need. Okay guys, so that's it. We went through all the elements in our track. Like always, if you find it useful or entertaining, please like and subscribe. The project file is in the link in the description. See you in the next tutorial, and let's listen to the fully arranged track.